The latest in our World Cup Spotlight series focuses on Curaçao. This country is truly a Cinderella story as they are the smallest nation by population to ever qualify for a World Cup. And in their journey to booking their place in the tournament, they went unbeaten in 10 matches, outscoring their opponents by nearly 2.5 goals a game. And the one leading the charge is 78-year-old Dutch legend Dick Advocaat, who's set to become the oldest coach in World Cup history. And their captain is all-time caps leader and former Aston Villa midfielder Leandro Bacuna. And when Curaçao take the stage for the very first time, they will be going up against Germany, Ecuador, and the Ivory Coast. So let's bring in one of Curaçao's own, Tahith Chong, who was born in Curaçao and is currently in England playing for Sheffield United. Tahith, thank you so much for joining us. Before we do get into all things Curaçao, since this is a morning show here in America, we want to know, what is your breakfast of choice?
Oh, that's a tough. Is that when I'm in Curaçao or is that when I'm in England?
Let's go both.
Let's
go both. Let's go both.
I want to hear both.
So I'll probably say in Curaçao we have a famous dish which we call Johnny cake, and so that's like I hear a tiny bit of maybe a Spanish accent, so it's like arepita.
Okay.
If for the Spanish people that know, and then I'll say in England I keep it quite easy. Probably be some toast. Probably be some. I'll probably say some toast with some egg. I don't do the beans. I'm sorry, guys. I don't do the beans in England.
I'll be honest.
But just keep it
all you've shown
simple.
there, Tahith, is that English food is terrible. That's all. That's
so
it.
go for
Hey, I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely different to Curaçao.
The English one sounds very
Yeah, it didn't make us sound good. Have some toast, and I don't eat the beans.
I'm not doing any of that. Just the toast.
Yeah, I don't know about it being terrible, but it was definitely different than Curaçao, I gotta say.
It has sazon, which is exactly what it is, as we'd say in Spanish, sazon. Tahith, let's talk about Curaçao. You guys being able to qualify for the first time ever, smallest country by population to qualify for the World Cup. What an achievement. So congratulations, first of all, in all of that. What was your reaction to that? Family, friends? I can imagine lots of emotions there.
Yeah, I think obviously, for me, obviously being born there, is, it's different. Obviously, our older family, everyone is down there. So for them to obviously experience it, I stayed up late in England. So obviously I was injured for the last game, but I stayed up and I watched it, and I don't think my heart is ever beaten that quick before. I think I texted our doctor after, and I was like, I think you might need to check my heart. There's something wrong. But no, it's obviously wonderful for the island, for everyone that's been associated with it. And then just seeing how the island has come together, I think that's something, before the qualifiers start, I think that's something we all spoke about in the team and in Curaçao, that, we wanted the island to be united. We wanted the island to just live with us, support us, and I think they've done that brilliantly. So, I think we're happy as a team, but I think we're even more happy for the island and for everyone that's involved.
Now, Tahith, for the very first time, kids on the island are going to get to see Curaçao in the World Cup. How does making it for the very first time change the nation's footballing trajectory?
I think there was someone that kind of gave a very good example, because I think as some people know, baseball is obviously very big in Curaçao, the MLB. And I think if you look back at the trajectory of it in baseball, when Andrew Jones, that's just going through the Hall of Fame, of course, now, so that's a big congratulations to him as well. But yeah, I think when you look back in time, when Andrew Jones went to the World Series, you can kind of see a next generation that comes up, that from kids that are 5, 6, which was Jurickson Profile and some other names that came through. They kind of went on to do big things. So I think it's inspiring for the kids. I think we obviously have a chance to kind of inspire the next generation. I think being from Curaçao and knowing how much the football lives there and how much the World Cup lives there, I think it's going to be a brilliant atmosphere on the island. I think for the kids, it's going to be something big, and hopefully in a few years' time, we can kind of, hear some of the kids come through and say, you know what, I was inspired by the Curaçao national team that went to the World Cup in 2026.
That's awesome to hear. And for sure it's going to be a carnival back home. I don't think too many people know the history of the island of Curaçao and this mix of cultures, being in the Southern Caribbean, being so close to Latin America as well. The Dutch, it's so extraordinary and so unique. And there's a lot of big diaspora. You, though, are one of the few, if not the only one, that was born in Curaçao from the national team. I want to hear your story about growing up, your decision to leave, and that Curaçaoan pride that you carried with you through Europe.
I think it's funny when I think about my story, because I actually started playing football because of the World Cup in 2006. So it's almost like it's a full circle moment, really. So I started playing football. I did like football at all. My dad was obviously, he played football in Curaçao. He was big on football, and he always used to invite me, like, oh, let's go watch some games. Come and watch me play. I was like, no, I don't want to go watch that sport. I don't like it. And then the 2006 World Cup came by, and that's the first time I really watched football, and that's how the whole journey started, really. And then I started playing at a team called Excellence in Curaçao, and then I moved to Atlético Salinha, also in Curaçao. And then obviously my dad and mom kind of made the decision. Obviously my dad knowing a bit of football, and he lived in Holland for a bit, and obviously he could see my talent. And to be fair, mom and dad kind of decided to leave everything behind, really, for me to go chase a dream, really. So at the time I went to Feyenoord. I stayed there for 8 years and then moved to Manchester United when I was 16. But when I think about it, I think it's a full circle moment, really, to be starting playing football, really, because of the World Cup in 2006, and then now obviously to be able to go with Curaçao to the 2026, so 20 years later, to be going to that same World Cup is obviously a surreal feeling, really.
Chongi, just looking ahead to the World Cup itself, most people will be looking at you guys and saying, like, you're happy to be there, happy to have that experience. Knowing you the way you are, how much are you thinking, right, here's an opportunity for me to showcase how good I am and the talent that we have there? And what's the game you're looking forward to the most? Is it as simple as playing Germany to showcase yourself against them?
I think obviously we as a group, we kind of understand people maybe thinking like that, but I think all of us is just excited to be there and excited to kind of go improve what we got. I think everyone was saying kind of the same thing when we got to the qualifiers, and we was in a group with Jamaica, but then we kind of went undefeated in the group and surprised everyone, really. So I think we have a brilliant manager. I think everyone knows, and I don't really need to speak too much about him because I feel like his resume speaks for himself. And I don't think he will allow us to just be excited just to be there either. I think obviously we are excited to be there, but I think we're also going there not for vacation like he says. We're obviously going there to win football games, really.
Yeah, Chongi, just moving it forward, obviously you're at Sheffield United. We had a little bit of time together at Birmingham City. You had aspirations again of being in the Premier League. Obviously the move to Luton has been marred by injuries, and obviously we see what happened to Luton in that time. How are you feeling now in terms of physically and mentally? Are you ready to go and attack the back end of this season?
Yeah, for sure. I think what you said, probably throughout my career, really, I have dealt with, a lot of injuries, and probably not at the perfect timing, really. And then obviously now as well with the qualifiers, I kind of missed the last 2 games as well for Curaçao and missed a few games and really not had a preseason again this year as well. But obviously now back fit and hopefully help the team as much as I can here, and give everything on the back end of the season. And like I said, I think obviously we're speaking about the World Cup now as well, but we've got an important period coming up as well with Sheffield pushing and trying to win as much games as we can.
All right, Chongi, I got one for you. I'm a big FIFA player, and in FIFA 20, you had an incredible card. It was one of my favorite to play with. My question is, as a player, when you get a special card in a game like that, do they come and let you know? Because it's like an immortal card. You are one of the best cards that's ever come out in this game, and it is legitimately immortalized.
Yeah, no, of course, I think obviously my friends and stuff as well, they're massive FIFA players, so they play with it. So I think at the time when the first one came out, I think the first one was like a Halloween card. I remember they
I had one
kind
of
of
them
told
as
me
well,
about
Chongi.
it.
He's never asked me, by the way. I had one, but it's fun. I'm sat next to him, but don't worry. You tell us about yours.
I didn't use that card. I didn't use the Deeney card. I scored a lot of goals with Tahith Chong. No,
Okay, love
Yeah, nah, hey, that's Troy being Troy, guys. I've experienced it. That's Troy being Troy, but you can't forget about Troy. But he's a top guy. And but coming back to the FIFA, obviously I remember the first card, and then I remember they kind of brought it back. So it's definitely something cool, and hopefully maybe in the future they can do something.
We need to run that one back. Yeah.
Chongi, we got to be quick because we got to get off. But I'm telling everybody about your fashion, right? And obviously you're a big fashion guy. We just want to show one fit. I'm going to let the guys rank it, and then you're going to talk us through it very quickly. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
There you go. What we say, guys.
Oh, I like this one.
I'm a big fan of this one. Yeah.
Do you want to talk us through it? Because I was trying to tell everybody I just want to understand why you need two bags.
I think right. What I would say is obviously the World Cup. I think I'm bringing some stuff out as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
That.
which will be cool for you guys to see. So I won't tell too much about that. But we definitely got some stuff planned.
Yeah.
But Troy knows. I've always been big on fashion, and it's just a hobby really outside of football. And it's just trying different stuff and just about expressing yourself really.
He's the Curaçao Kunde.
Yeah, look at his fits, bro. He's never been shy, and I wish you nothing but the best, bro. You know that.
No, thank you, and I appreciate you guys having me on. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much to you guys, and I enjoy it. Obviously, I watch the show here and there, so you guys keep doing the good work as well. Really appreciate you guys having me on.
Love you, bro. See you soon.
Appreciate you, brother.
I love you, brother. See you guys.